Mockup photos aren't just there to make your offer look cute. They're one of the fastest ways to communicate the true value of your product without changing anything else on your page. In this video, I'm going to show you my go-to course mockup photo strategy that helps you increase sales in just one single image. I'll even walk you through a client example and show you what I changed that made someone buy within days of seeing it, that literally said, I had no idea this was even in your course, I'm gonna buy it now. So let's dive in. And in case this is your first video, hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a sales funnel and conversion rate optimization expert, helping a lot of online course creators and online business owners help create first clients faster and keep customers for longer. So where a lot of creators get it wrong is that most people just have a laptop or a couple of those iPad photos and slap up a screenshot of a PDF or a screenshot of their photo and just call it a day. And you're not wrong for starting there because you just need something up. But when you're wanting to create more sales, every part of your page and your funnel matters and creates an impression on your people on whether or not to buy. You've probably heard the cliche phrase of a photo is worth 1,000 words. And it is so true, especially with sales page photos and anything around your sales materials in general. That is meant to convey that your product is the thing for them and here's why. But the issue is when you're just slapping up a lot of screenshots, they don't really understand that beyond, wow, there's some information in here, but I don't know if it's solving my problem. Because showing that you have a lot of information does not always mean that people are going to realize that it is the solution for them. The main reason why this doesn't work beyond just like showing more information is because it's what everyone does. And it's because it's become something that at first was meant to show an example of an intangible product. Courses, membership sites, coaching, all those things are intangible, right? You can't actually put them in your hands, but you need to show and make them feel the transformation of what you're providing versus someone who runs a coffee company or jewelry. You have the product you can show. For this, it's all about really conveying the transformation that your offer can bring, the solution that it brings. And you can't really show that with just a laptop photo or some screenshots of like random stuff. And that's another conversation for the other photos you have on your page. We're going to focus this video on just the product mockup photo since nearly every sales page will have one and a lot of them are doing it wrong, as you can probably tell, if they're trying to go for conversions. If you just want something to be slapped up, slap it up, have a good time, and I'll see you later. But for a lot of you who are watching this video, it's because you want to have more sales and have your things sell more for you, which is the entire point of a sales page and sales funnel. So I'm going to walk you through what it looks like with a client of mine with the before and after, so I can actually show you what it looks like when you take a bland basic mockup photo and change it into one that's actually transformation giving. And the customer even said they bought because the mockup photo showed them what they didn't even realize was in the course before, which made them hesitate buying until they saw the photo and saw the new copy that was communicating this real value that was being hidden in all the lessons and all the screenshots. So let's dive in. So if you were to type course mockup into Canva right now, this is what you'd see. You'd see a lot of photos that are kind of looking the same around photos of a laptop and sometimes phones, whatever it might be. Obviously, these people are making it more stock photo, but I would say this one is probably the most popular type of thing where there's a main computer in the middle and there's screenshots from like slides. If you have a membership, you probably are showing photos of people on the screen together, things that are trying to convey the information and what's being provided. But the issue is that people don't really want more information. They want that transformation, that solution to be better communicated. And it's not your fault because again, all of these are just showing you like, let's just put stuff up to show that there's stuff inside the course, right? That's the reason for this, to show like you have something creative for them to go into. But we're really trying to optimize for conversions and sales. We have to think about all of this being building a bigger narrative on why you are the solution. And a lot of you who are going to be targeting people who are other course creators or online entrepreneurs, moms, anyone who like literally fits into the busy time crunched place, which is nearly every person that you're going to be, that's going to be in your ideal audience. Having more stuff does not actually make them feel better. It makes them feel more overwhelmed. So we have to make sure that the narrative that is your offer is the thing that's going to be solving their problem is really communicated with what is like probably the most central photo that you have on your page to show you a client's before and after. This is before. This is something that they had before me. They already had a really prominent course. This was not something where I came in and they didn't have any sales. They just knew that for an upcoming launch, they wanted to convert as many people as possible because they knew the value. They've had over 300 plus people in their program and they know it just needs to be communicated better. Since she's always adding more things in to help her people in this program, and it's going to be soon increasing prices. And that's really important to know because if you're ever going to be doing something where you increase a price or something that's going to be changing the current model of how you've been selling it, you have to make sure you create new things to better communicate that value. Because for a lot of times there are certain things like pricing psychology where once you go over 1,000, people start to get a little bit unsure about whether or not it's going to be the right thing for them and their wallet. If you're in other industries, like one of my clients is a teacher who's selling other resources for teachers, for them even going over 50 is a lot. So when you know that, you have to remember then everything matters to help them justify why this is important for them to get. So in this before, and this is actually one of her befores for her other program, you can see it's very standard. It's almost copy paste of what the Canva mockup was, where it's showing screenshots from part of the PDF. It's showing screenshots from how it looks in one of the lessons, from the sheets and stuff. And I just want you to take a moment and look at this and tell me what you think the program is. Because like obviously the name's Profitable Part-Time Blogger, but just take a second and tell me, what do you think is really being included in this? Do you think it's a group program? Do you think it's a just straight up course? What is like the price point you think this is at? That kind of thing. Just have that in mind because I want to show you what will probably change once we show you the after. Because I know for a lot of people, when you see this first photo, you'll probably think, oh, it's like a really intense, like it has a lot of information program, right? Like it's very information heavy. It has all of these things that are good for me, but it's probably just going to be the program only and not really have any type of support, any type of like communication with the creator. It's just going to be kind of like a Facebook group. It's kind of dead. And the rest of it's going to be mainly focused on the content. And what's crazy is it's the exact opposite. Yes, it is a huge resource for information, but when I looked over the 30 plus testimonials and feedback from our students, almost all of them explain like why they stuck around and why they enjoyed this so much was actually from all the support they got. This creator would respond to answers in her Facebook group within 24 hours. She would create 5-minute Loom videos auditing their websites for them. She is someone who like does so much in terms of accountability, of adding support, but do you see that anywhere on this part? No. And even on her page, on her sales page before this, it was not being shown that well in terms of the actual support she was given. And the thing is, we are in the age now where yes, we want to make sure that the information, you are solving a problem, but people stick around because they know that they are getting the accountability, the support, the extra thing that you might not be realizing is important to them because you hear so often of just show more and more information. That's not always the case. So what I had to do in this course mock-up photo was number one, show like the reason why people are coming to her beyond just the solution of I want to have a profitable part-time blogger business. It's also showing the reason why they stick around and what makes her offer more unique, which is all the accountability and support that she gives. And then also taking all of her crazy amount of information, because this is just from last year. She has like 3 other modules that are even being shown on here. Those type of things to add that in without overwhelming the eyes of other people. Since a lot of her audience is neurodivergent or creative people, you can also add in too many items and too many elements that can make them feel overwhelmed. So having to highlight the things that actually will matter to them and then putting it and communicating it in a way visually that makes people understand, wow, this is not just comprehensive, but it has all that I want. So this is the before, remember that? And then this was the after. Now we could definitely do this more and shape it up better 100%, but I want to show you what I did. You would see if you look at this feels like it has more information, right? Like it has all the PDFs, all this kind of stuff here. This has a little bit less, maybe I think I took off 1 or 2 of the PDFs, but what this does is communicate all of the juicy reasons on why people bought that wasn't being showcased. I'll go into this and show you the zoom. So the first thing over here is this part. I love adding in when you're looking at client testimonials, if you already have them, if it's a new course, you can still, talk about your own story, but I love to try and look into the testimonials that are given for courses when I'm helping to create new graphics and new copy for a sales page and see what really stuck out to people. And especially when they reference specific lessons, my favorite questions you can ask someone is like, what was a specific lesson or topic that changed things for you? That was like the most transformational that stuck out to you? Because then you can actually reference that and say, literally, Jane was able to use this exact lesson to organize her clusters and increase domain authority. These people know what domain authority is, or else I wouldn't have it just be called DA. Using that as like a way to help already integrate testimonials and social proof without just like having to be more and more PDFs is a really easy way to increase the value. You can see I still included some of the PDFs, and these were actually the screenshots of the PDFs here that were referenced a lot in her student testimonials on what was really valuable to them. Also choosing through the plethora of lessons what actually mattered. And I still kept a couple of her previous ones, like obviously the main computer photo and this, just because it helped show a little bit more of the lesson structure. But what you might not notice is this iPad used to say like the profitable part-time blogger guide GPT. This program's also one of its biggest like reasons on why to buy is it has so many chat GPTs that help shortcut like all the friction on why people wouldn't want to join, like from helping write blog posts to helping clarify your ideal audience, all this kind of stuff, the things that matter. And what was interesting was this exact one, the She Knows Your Audience chat, was actually referenced in a client testimonial that showed Christy was able to plan 6 months of content in minutes just from this exact chat. So even though I technically used the same iPad mockup, I changed the chat GPT that was being referenced and I added in more credibility. The part that was also added that helped create the sale was this part right here, along with the copy as well. I want to make sure we also realize like copy matters here. A design, an image alone can't just change everything, but it can change a lot. So you'll see here, this was a way to show the support. I don't believe sometimes there is a good way to show, oh, you have a photo of you on a Zoom, but that doesn't really showcase the value of how valuable your eyes on someone else's website or coaching is. So having this, it's a screenshot from her actual Facebook group showing her doing the support. It's showing her giving a Loom video that was customized to someone within 3 hours of when the post was given. And add this little thing here, it says, yes, one-to-one real support. You ask, she answers, no VAs, no bots, which is also really huge because a lot of programs like this that have usually around like over 100 people, they begin to add in like co-coaches or they don't give you as much support, and she like double, triples downs on it. And this was the thing that helped one of the new customers literally say, I didn't even realize you did one-to-one audits in here, but she's been doing them since day one. And that's the value of having better strategy for your mock-up photos. The final thing here was she also has a private podcast, and someone referenced it in the client testimonials saying, hey, this is actually like one of my favorite things because I can learn as I go. So having that here, very, very simple thing to change, wasn't even included on this. Crazy, right? On the before. And the final thing that I added in that was different was the monthly guest experts. This is new for her, so that's why it's going to be a little bit less design pretty. But I wanted to show also real photos of the people, including myself, who was in it that showcase that there's actually people around and, again, validating, creating more credibility for the offer. Because the more you can show other humans beyond just you, the more credibility it gives. And that's why I included this photo. I know you can like scroll in deeper, of Christy. Like this is a real photo from her website that is showing that real humans saw this, because the more photos you can add of humans that are actually in the program, the more real it feels. So this is why really understanding the difference between just showing like screenshots to showing and creating a better narrative of what actually matters to your people is so important. And you'll hear me reference the thing around testimonials a lot, because testimonials in terms of like feedback forms and things like that and asking the right questions in them matters a lot. So I'll have a separate video on that soon, on what questions to better ask and create better like testimonial collection forms for this reason of just not just creating better testimonials, but also being able to soon create better graphics for that. But I just wanted to show you like this is the power of what a really good mock-up photo can do. And this is something you don't see everywhere else. Like I haven't seen anyone use like a little message blurb here, or haven't used these little sticky notes that could show more of this. And yes, this will be different if you have a totally new course, which is why with this one, like I understand why people do it, but even if you have a new course, there are ways to go about it that can make it feel more interactive. If you don't have guest trainings yet, that's okay. You probably still have like better ways to show the value of what you have. You can showcase more testimonials or talk about it more. There are ways to make your mock-up photo create a better narrative for you that showcase the value better and help people say yes. This doesn't keep stifling the true value of what your course is and kind of the immediate yes that it can provide for you when you are showing the things that people have communicated to you, or at least you know are why people are sticking around. So this is the power of a mock-up photo that can actually do well for you. And I know me showing this rather than giving you step by step is hard because I can't see your course right now, but I have an entire training on this, on which things to choose from your course or your membership or your product to create a better, more converting mock-up photo that you can find in the description below, because I know how powerful these can be. I've seen people literally get sales from it that week. And I want to make sure you're able to have the same result, but also know that you can do this all inside of Canva. Almost all the graphics I design, as I have in these other ones too, or for her sales page, are all in Canva to make things a little bit easier for you. So everything that I provide in the training and future programs is going to be in Canva so that everyone can use it, since most people at this point who are business owners have some form of Canva. So now you know the power of what you can begin to start changing on your mock-up photo to showcase better value, especially if you have other elements than just modules and lessons to show. But if you want to go even deeper, make sure to go check out that training in the description below, where I break down each image, where I show you exactly what to showcase on your course mockup photo to make it more premium, clickable, and more converting, that you can do now, no matter if this is your first launch and you haven't had any sales yet, this being like your 5th one. And I hope this helped you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.